leadership. Basically, as a member of parliament, your duty is to lead the entire constituency, various sections, cross-section of people, opinion leaders, the district assembly. Currently, if you look at our district assembly, it's as if there's a non-existent district assembly. Almost every project that is done by the district is named after the MP, because the MP is only interested in his personal aggrandizement. So what we will seek to do is to work closely with the district assembly, elected district assembly members and government appointees to identify problems at the various electoral areas, various communities, and then together we fashion out solutions. Because politics is not just about what you think the people need. Sometimes it's about what the people exactly need. So you need to have a listening ear, listen to them, work closely with them, and then you'll be able to know what are their needs. Then you can together find solutions to problems that faces the various people. Now, talking about the Common Communication Fund, there is a point that sometimes comes up. That, well, how are you going to get $50 million? I'm saying that the oil and gas fund that we have found in our constituency, God blessed us with it. It's made us constituency one of the richest constituencies in the whole country. And that resource will definitely one day be finished in terms of exploration. So what we seek to do is to make sure that we are making way while the sun is shining. Now that all these EMP companies are in there, ENI, Cosmos, the Jubilee Partners, the Ghana Gas, they are all making a lot of money from our land. We are only asking them to give a little back to the society that gave them the opportunity to make so much money, so that we use that to invest in the next generation of the people. And that, for me, is a vehicle that will use both the district assembly, the opinion leaders, the traditional authorities, everybody that is involved to lobby the various interest groups. That as we speak now, our people need education more than anything else. Because currently we have a Ghana Gas company on our land. Yet, when our people apply, they are told that they don't have the requisite qualification. And the choice in this election is very clear. It's not even close. Just last weekend, the incumbent member of parliament last 2 weekends launched his campaign at Ellembelle, and he was talking about establishing a food bank and building a warehouse and putting in food so that people would come and queue and be given chit to be given money. Of course, the people of Ellembelle are hungry, but they are not hungry for food. They are hungry for opportunity, for equal opportunities to earn a decent living. They are very generous people. As I have been going around my campaign, in fact, what sometimes excites me is that anywhere I go, they will feed me. Normally what I do is that I sleep in every community that we spend time with and then continue the next day. In the morning, by the time I wake up, there's so much food in front of me that sometimes I'm not even able to eat everything that has been given to me. So I know the people of Ellembelle are hungry, but they are not hungry for food. They are hungry for good leadership. The leadership that will excite their people, that will inspire them to go on to achieve greater heights. And that's the kind of leadership that we seek to provide to the people of Ellembelle. I'm
grateful, Bonzo Kate. Kenneth, let me come to you now. Using the district assembly, using opinion leaders, using traditional authorities, and when you get the mandate, how do you intend to use these critical indicators in the constituency to push up the development that Ellembelle needs critically?
For the Progressive People's Party, we have a clear policy on the district assembly. We said, when the good people of Ghana vote us into power, we are going to elect our own district MCs and then district assembly members. We are going to elect them. So if you know that you were elected by the good people of that constituency, then of course, whatever thing that you are going to do in the constituency will serve the interests of the people who elected you. That is one thing. Another thing is, because you know that you were elected by the people and then you would like to go back the next time, you will make sure that you will listen to the people and then you will do what the people want. What I see in the constituency is that what I have termed politically oriented projects. Politically oriented projects. They are politically oriented projects because the politicians, they do what they want to do, but rather they don't consult the people and then find out if they indeed need whatever project that they put up in their communities. For instance, the people of Asmase, the people of Edukrom, and all other places. The other place that I call neglected Ghana, that section of Ellembelle, I can tell you, they don't need, electricity at the moment, because there is no, manufacturing industry over there. But NDC, they've sent, light to their place. It's good. Light is good. But I can tell you for a fact that the people will appreciate it so much if they had their road, so that they can convey their cocoa produce to Enyinasi or the other nearby towns. But right now they have light. They don't have roads. What are they going to use the light at this moment for? Because if there is any industry who wants to set up there is no road. How are they going to transfer their goods to that aspect of Ghana? So for us, as we have already indicated, we are going to elect our own DCEs, so that the DCE will be accountable to the people who elected them. So for Progressive People's Party, we have a clear policy on the election of our DCEs and then MCEs.
And that's how you intend to use them to develop, bring development to Ellembelle. I'm grateful, Kenneth, for your time this morning. Let's jump into the final round of our conversations. And let me once again start with you, Kwesi, because one key thing has been that members of parliament have mandate to make laws. Some have even suggested that they can't bring development to their constituencies because that is not their mandate. Now, if you get the mandate of your people, how do you intend to carry out your lawmaking functions side by side, lobbying for projects for your constituency?
Thank you. I have had a privilege of working in the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana for about 8 years. So I'm well vested in the work of Parliament. Parliamentary work mostly is done at the committee levels before it comes to the House for final deliberations. And unfortunately, in Ghana, the issue of private member bills is virtually non-existent. So private members are not able to play much in terms of, most bills are initiated by the government through the ministries who bring the bills to Parliament and forward it. It goes through the constitution stage, the various stages. And then so in terms of the role of, the lawmaking role of a member of Parliament is sometimes even restricted. But then, as the next MP of Ellembelle, we are going to be able to provide the kind of leadership that will not just be in Parliament, but also identify the problems of society of the constituents and be able to offer solutions, proffer solutions. And the solutions are going to be very practical solutions. My brother just mentioned in Nasenot, I call it the conscience of the constituency. Look, it's the most neglected community. Here we have about 20,000 farmers, mostly migrant farmers, who are doing cocoa production. Their roads are not motorable. So when it rains, they cannot go, they cannot come. They get stuck. Their kids have to travel long distances to attend basic education. Sometimes they have to carry their foodstuffs on their heads for long distances before they can bring it to the market centers. And these are areas that have voted for NDC in the last 20 years. And when you go to them, sometimes you feel like crying. You listen to them, you meet them, and they have no basic amenities. Their kids have no schools to attend. They have no potable water. They have no access to roads. Even mobile network, telephone network. They have no access to telephone network. So what kind of people are we expecting them to be? Meanwhile, they are the ones producing cocoa, which is giving us so much revenue. Now, what I have said, and that's the firm promise that I've made, that if the government is spending so much money to do cocoa roads, we also deserve some of the cocoa roads. So I'm going to use my position as a member of Parliament to lobby so that the entire stretch of that area, from Ellembelle all the way to Pristia, currently, before you access that part of the constituency, you have to go through Takwa Pristia before you can access the constituency. Now, that is a road that will open up the constituency so that all these 20,000 farmers will be able to bring their foodstuffs to Inase, which is a market center, and to create a commercial boom in Inase, which already is a major commercial town in the constituency. Now, aside that, down south, as we have already said, education. We all know education has become a very key development tool for development. Yet our people are being deprived of access to education just because they cannot afford it. I remember my grandparent who is stark illiterate, who migrated from Ellembelle constituency all the way to Gomo Kumasi in Gomo West constituency, had to sell his clothing to be able to pay for my sixth form registration fees. And as I go around, there are a lot of people who come to me with similar demands because they cannot afford. There are a lot of people who have completed GHS with very good grades. They cannot afford to go to SHS. They are sitting at home. There are a lot of people who have completed SHS with very good degrees, certificates, results. Somebody came to me just the day before yesterday. He had grade 12. He's been sitting at home for the past 3 years just because his parents cannot afford his admission fees. He's been given admission on 3 occasions at Cape Coast Polytechnic. And this is a child in Eziama who, with a little support, can realize his dreams. So these are the things that we want to do as a member of parliament so that our constituency can be very competitive, so that our people will be able to work and fend for themselves, so that they will not have to look up to an MP to provide a food bank and give them and treat them as if they are beggars. The people of Ellembelle are not beggars. They want to work and earn a decent living.
Bonzoke is running on the ticket of the NPP for the Ellembelle constituency. Kenneth, let me come to you. Putting aside your role as a legislator, a lawmaking person, and then lobbying for development for the Ellembelle constituency, how do you intend to do it, given the mandate to represent Ellembelle?
For Progressive People's Party, as we have already indicated, we have an agenda. We have a 10-point agenda. And if the good people of Ghana give us the mandate, we are going to implement this agenda. And number one, as we already mentioned, the election of our DCEs. Because if there will be any development in our constituencies, it depends on the DCEs. If you have a good DCE, DCEs here in Ghana, they are not even aware that they can raise funds. They themselves can raise funds. They can go to the bond market and raise funds to develop their constituencies or their area. They are not aware of this. But if we elect them, then they will have so many innovative ways of raising funds to make sure they develop their constituencies. Education, as I said, the unemployment situation in Ellembelle is tied to education, because most of the people are not educated, are not well educated. You understand? It's not their fault, because there is no job. There's no job there. The only thing that helped some of us was the coconut farm. And then the coconut farm at this time is dying off. When you go there, you cannot even get some.
So, Kenneth, how do you intend to use your role as the MP to get these problems addressed?
Yes, as I said, we are going to elect Progressive People's Party. We are going to make sure we change the part of the constitution to make sure the people will elect their own DCEs. That is one. And then two, we are also going to make school going a compulsory. That is from kindergarten to SHS. Very compulsory. And then the compulsory aspect of it, as we have already said, we are going to set up educational police to make sure every child of school going age will make sure the educational policeman will make sure this person gets to school.
Okay.
And then the one key thing that Kenneth Atubra also wants to bring in the constituency, it has never been mentioned before, and we are going to make sure we bring it. If I get the mandate of the good people of Ellembelle, we are also going to make sure that we bring, we establish a stadium in Ellembelle constituency. Growing in that part of Ghana, you've seen a lot of footballers, we've seen a lot of boxers, but they don't cross Ankobra to even Takrady. You understand? We don't have the basic amenities to train these good footballers. Oh. At the moment, you have so many football, teams coming up. Some of them, you go there and they even basic training kits, they don't have them. So as I'm going around, I'm trying to help some of these football teams. I know that one day you have a Samoan coming from, from Ellembelle. You have someone like Abedi Pele coming from Ellembelle. So if you are able to bring, to establish a stadium, which I have already cost it, that if you are able to bring, this stadium in this Ellembelle constituency, we are going to, you train a lot of people, because the manpower is one key thing that can develop a country. Right. So if you have a country and then you don't have the people to manage what the resources of that country, then the country is doomed.
I'm grateful. Kenneth Atobla is running on the ticket of the Progressive People's Party in the Ellembelle constituency. Kwesi Bonzo K is also running on the ticket of the NPP for the same constituency. Gentlemen, I'm grateful for your time this morning. But before we wrap up, I'm going to give you the chance to speak in any of the local dialect there in the constituency. Tell them why you think you are the best person to be voted for and what you do for them when they give you their mandate to represent them in Parliament. Bonzoke, I'm starting with you. In 1 minute, you can do this.
Ellembelle, yezeke yemo Ellembelle yakunde jima yaye. Yengba from makunde school aho. Benyi jima baye. Na bada benyi school bago bekodo kuno. Yenkunde MP moba ne ya hake obi atuari ya maye. Tale yakunda, yakujima yakunde ya. Mudike mu yezela. Anga ebe hureke ye MP obaaki ne egrade be mo se tuma ya mabe ko a obaye. Ye maye vro motwe. Imu yezi ke vro motwe ni. Ijima yele onzonyele. Mesheti mikanuju komode mo ba kan bekrem mbaba ho ko be yenu mi yaba wasonso nu mi yaba egon eka bia bi ko kan ke eje bonzo brana baboaye ma Ellembelle GAV akre ezunu nu ye ho akre ezunu nu ye hye ehye tie mdumumzi ke ko de biala babo modene ke mbadudu eja ke na ya vaye ye ejo ke pare ni ya boyle wure ke mo ne ya ye kra na otto benzo na pare nu na ke mo ndo mezela mezike be ye kraduke evrai MP ufremo we yi Ellembelle ke malam dan bonzo ke 34k wa na kamodra ye bakiki nyemo wo Ellembelle muti ndabasi ke benyanzo na pare be die na be hozo be boye be demo bele house to house campaign ye constituency executive ye zonal executives ye police station executives be muna be hozo na me age mesbe na be ma awiade mu enwike politics oni zukwa nwuche na mum ole adwone ole ngrebe ole ahobrase ole nyamsuro ole zonle ye kono ke ba sonia me make ma kunde zukwa me gwem kodokunu kamo mimo eye mo be kunde zukwa be gwem kodokunu evra motwe na ke ijumo batuma bi ekuna belonua ba chiche zukwa ke asif ke yemo yele mgbofune Ellembelle ma yene mgbofune mezika Ellembelle ma yakunde jima yaye yakunde nguma yezukwa yedanko yenye sanu jima yakunde jima yezukwa na ebuke yejima yenye be egwe kodokunu yakunde ka yoba nyan ne hatiti yamaye ya chare yamaye keri mutimda basi ke ba madene na mzike sa nyame ya dafa tubiro mse no a mo haji mzi meti abale nyame yira ebi ama Ellembelle o yira ebi ama Ghana kra.
I'm grateful. Bonzo K of the NPP. Kenneth, your time now to do that.
Yo ebi amo ye dabasi ke berie bedunu ha berie PPP edweka kpale ni bedunu ha wo Ellembelle mezike manu doni ala waka mo bedubanwu bezie ke be ba ye ejima ne ba va ma PPP ayo bia mo wo party bia nu mo ofike party ni omwai mo wo MPP mo wo NDC mo wo CPP mo wo APC mo ozike elka mo wala omwai ne mum party mo ba hwa va ejuma yaga Ellembelle menzini enula yimale PPP la yele to sare yavre ke ora wa abuka yenwu o ma ye yenzo ne ye likunim wo egai mo ye kwya ado wo December 7th la yazike menimo be Ellembelle la yele so very hard working people ayo biala mo Ellembelle miske be mo yesekpale na se yele ejuma an ye kpale yimale ke simani mo efade bi ewuro osanu a oye no oye kpale moti Kenneth Atobla mise enavre mo ega mo yakwa adora sena kompe ye odike be yetuga na yefie maya yimale Kenneth Atobla ye PPP oruake PPP ye hireke se be fa ejuma ne be wura yesa mo Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum la yenu ala ye ba vejuma don ya menzini yenu na many ye medium mo be sebi be woso no mo be nyejuma be nyela benya ejuma bi e baye eko azuazu amazo a be start be si kpada ba my medium amo ke be drobo na mbahro ma ha mahro ke se ye lejuma ye ya ange kpada ni onhia ye se ye lejuma ye ya ange 1 cedi ana 2 cedis mo be baga na ba wure ye se no onhia ye moti yele to sare ya vra yoku bi ala ke be duga ni be vema Kenneth Atobla on a Progressive People's Party mo Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum la yanu ala yazike Ghana Obayebwe.
I am grateful. Gentlemen, once again, give yourself a handshake as we wrap up our conversation. Kenneth Atobla is representing the Progressive People's Party in the constituency. Kwesi Bonzo alias Bonzo K is representing the NPP in the constituency. The incumbent member of parliament, all messages and phone calls to his phone, we couldn't get him to be part of the conversation. We're grateful, gentlemen, for your time. Wish you well. And from the Election Command Center at TV3, we'll follow your activities through to December 7 and beyond. We're grateful for your time in the studio. Those of you who watched that from your homes and offices, we're also grateful that you're following what the Election Command Center is doing. Peaceful elections ahead of December 7. That's what we're asking for. Have a great morning once again. Sports is up next.